Good evening, good people, and welcome to yet another presentation by the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. We got the Winter Mystery Async. I'm Saracen, joined in the booth by my good friend Fizzle and my good friend slash classmate Maggie. Hello to both of you.
Hello.
So tonight we've got our async top 4 from the Mystery Flags seed that was put out last week, and I'm looking forward to it. I thought this was a really fun flag set that shook out. Fizzle, how did you feel as somebody who played through it?
I thought that there were enough kind of, I don't want to call them switcheroos, but subversion of expectations that it definitely made things feel like a grand time. I'm doing my best not to give spoilers for anyone who's watching but hasn't played it. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would do again.
I really enjoy putting out mystery flags to the community because it seems like they're always well received. And yeah, I had a great time in the spoiler chat with everybody. But I do want to bring us back to the point of why we are here, which is for the kids. And the upcoming winter marathon schedule just put out in the last couple of days. So look forward to that. We're treating this as the pre-show because in order for this to count for our classwork, Maggie and I had to get this out the door a lot earlier than the rest of the marathon. So, Maggie, if you want to take us through a spin about our charity and all the good people who donated.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the proceeds from today's stream, they're going towards the South Carolina Firefighters Burn Children's Fund. Their mission is to support the development of pediatric burn care and treatment and the recovery of burn-injured children and their families. And what's amazing about this organization is how much they do beyond medical treatment. So they help families with food, clothing, lodging, and transportation while their children are in recovery. And they also fund a summer camp for burn survivors. So it gives kids a place to heal, have fun, and connect with others who understand what they've been through. And the camp saw a 14% increase in campers this year. And that just shows how important it is for these kids to have that space. And personally, this means a lot to me because it's more than treatment. It's about helping children and their families rebuild their confidence and find joy again after something traumatic. So yeah, a huge thank you to everyone who's donated so far. Your support means so much, and every dollar helps the Burn Children's Fund continue their amazing work with young burn survivors and their families. So yeah, so there's been, I'll go over a couple donations here so far. So $50 from Sprockets, who says, "Oh yeah, let's go." We also have a $25 from Mecklin89, who says, "Let's do $5 up, $5 down, and 15 other." We also got $20 from the one and only Lord Fizzlebeep, who says, "Thinking about numbers that can go up and numbers that can go down, let's throw $15 at decrease and 5 at other." We also got a $25 from Clementitas, says, "BP level cap 25, please." We also got $20 from Classic Gamer 76, who says, 5 towards increasing something, 5 for decreasing something, 10 for other, especially if robot chickens are involved. Let's go. $20 from Odron, who says, "Let's go for an increase. Everyone likes increased numbers." And $20 from Leffy, who says, "Let's just start things off with $20 towards other." So yeah, if you'd like to help, you can donate directly through our Tiltify page. Every contribution goes straight to supporting Burn Children's Fund. Even small amounts make a difference, whether it's sending a child to camp or covering travel costs for a parent staying with their child. So yeah, we really appreciate the support.
The Tiltify link is in chat now. If you have questions about the marathon at any point, !marathon in the chat, or just head on over to the Discord, and we love talking about it. I don't think there's a person in the community who dislikes talking about the marathon.
Nope.
All questions are good questions for the most part. We know when the bad faith ones, right?
Mhm.
But we love talking about the marathon and all the good work that our partner organizations do. Thank you, Maggie, for getting us through all of that.
Yeah.
Fizzle, do we have
Yeah.
anything that we want to touch before we start this off?
In terms of anything special, I think my answer to that. I think my answer to that is no. So, get ready, everybody.
Fantastic.
Oh, I need to use darker colors. There we go. So, I have the VODs ready. Let me know if we are ready to kick this off.
Let's do it.
Okay.
This is the hard part with the
This
synchronized clip.
This is a lot harder than it looks.
So we see right off the bat that we've got some of the new consumables. And notably, this is the set that has Fast and Ruse as consumable items. We also see a starting ribbon and some starting equipment. Our white mage looks to have kind of mediocre magic beyond life. We do see Bane and Fast at level 1 for black. Oh, and yeah, this was a party draft, and 6 characters. We did have safe draft on, which guarantees that you get 1 melee and 2 distinct mages. That resulted in 2 black belts, 3 black mages, and a white mage. Good luck, people.
Mm-hmm. Taking a minute to start syncing streams up a bit.
Also notable, we do have weapons casting spells. And we don't really have a full picture of what that is at this point. But we did see, I believe, a fog item, and it's kind of weird when you're looking at these because it just replaces the weapon name. We are seeing loose items as well, as we get a crystal coming out of the bottom left chest of Toph, and a ship out of the top left room right away. And a cabin. Zap Axe +6. I mean, nobody can swing that, which is very sad, but Zap is a very fun spell. Oh, there was a Life 2 sword. Ah, right.
Mm-hmm. That did a lot of work.
Yeah. So, limited means of killing things up front. But this is a red flag that you just saw on Razor's screen. If you're not getting teleported from the Temple of Fiends, there's only 2 options. Option 1 is that it's entrance shuffle, and the entrances that we've seen somehow match their vanilla location. Option 2 is that we have the ability to walk into Toph. If you looked very carefully at the item, the loot was also there. I appreciate how mean this ghoul is being to Zeno at this point. He's already had to use the Life 2 sword. Nice chunk of gold coming out of the Toph room, but 4 4 Frost Ds, White Ds if you have the alternate. Little scary, especially when they all dodge the Bane. But Clementitus is out.
So I think that was Clementitus was one of the first to discover that Black Orb is just open.
Yep, so 0 orbs required to get in, which also means that you have to kind of do like the walk of shame to go back to Canaria and then into the. Yeah. Who walks up to the throne? Nobody. Nobody does.
I mean, entrance as a frequenter of entrance floor shuffle, me frequently.
Phoenix also getting a little bit of engagement opportunities from the White Ds, and yeah, barely gets out. Razor with a quick check of the chests at Matoya's cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that this seed, the key items were so front loaded that it made me think that you had the spread on chaotic instead of forward.
You know that is one of the things that's really tricky to parse out
Mm-hmm.
when you're playing the. But I think that that's part of the joy as well,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I also thought that fetch NPCs were a thing for a little bit until I figured out that no, wait, it's just everything's up front.
All right, I see Razor heading into Provoca. We saw Oxyale come out of the TNT Lazy Dwarfs chain
Mm-hmm.
on Clementitus' side. Heal 2 and Ruse, both very reasonable spells for the White Mage here.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the other things that's always tricky to parse out is just how important is the experience that you're getting at any given fight, parsing out exactly
Mm-hmm.
what the rates are,
Mm-hmm.
how much you want to put off. Cure 3 Axe, very good item typically.
Usually, yeah. I guess as a question for the flag set designer, how did you determine which for numbers going up or numbers going down? How did you determine that? Did you just random.org by the number of flags we have that can go up or down?
So funnier than that, it was random.org,
Uh-huh.
but what I did, so I actually have the spreadsheet open still, so I can do this direct. So we had 10 donations for increase, 14 for decrease, 12 for other. And what I did was I said, we're just going to do D6s across the board. And so it was a 1 was an enemy major bonus, a 2 was an enemy mid, 3 enemy minor, 4 player minor, 5 player mid, 6 player mid. So thinking about that in terms of how much is it going to swing the flag set one. And then I said, I'm going to go 1 increase, 1 decrease, 1 other in rotation so that I'm not, doing all of the increases and then the decreases come and just wipe them out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that was a it was an interesting exercise, and part of that is I wanted the flag set to have some bespoke qualities to it,
Right.
uh, but the trick of it was making sure that it was still interesting, you know? And the base flag set that I started with was, I would say, a little bit on the hard side of what we typically throw out to, you know, as far as like scaling. And then I just kind of messed around with it until it got where it needed to be. By the way, the buffed pirates with the stats where they were. Kind of a big deal.
Mhm. I I think I went for just Bane on those. Also, quick update. How many positive numbers, how many negative numbers, and what was the other count again?
10, 14, 12.
10, 14, and then call it 12. There.
And there was actually a flag that I had turned on originally, and then I was getting a generation failure, and I said, "Nope, we're not doing that anymore."
Generation
And
failures just mean you're cooking with gas. That's all.
right. So that particular flag, it was Spellcrafter, because it was not compatible with the new consumables that I had selected. So, um, anyway, yeah, so we got that all solved right away. And then there was the little Easter egg with the actual seed. I don't know how many people noticed it, except for the part where I set it to Mechlin. But the seed was my name spelled in Leet with a one at the end. I've seen people spell baseball and football. I was just going to spell my own name.
Hmm. There.
I was very entertained with how this seed turned out, just from like a very baseline perspective. And I said up front to people, "Hey, I only stopped at Provoca," and then there were wild speculations about what that meant. Was it unsafe town shuffle and Canaria was included and Provoca
Hmm.
was the first town? We'll never know. Anyway, so we've started getting to the part where people can diverge a bit.
Hmm.
We're starting to see some Elfland. We do have the ship and the canal for anybody who turned in the crystal right away. That is a very expensive max gold rubs, which is kind of silly. Lock 2 something or other is potentially very helpful.
That price, I'm going to call that a falchion. The untyped swords the untyped weapons are usually very cheap. If something gets all the way up to 900, it's probably the falchion. And if it's max price, like I knew it was cat claw, but I still looked at it like 3 times anyway, just to make sure that it was the cat claw.
We did see temper at level 4 noted. Phoenix fighting some water. I believe we're getting our first trip up potentially. That looks like we're on a Kraken floor in Topher.
Oh, that's too big. Let me make that. There.
uh, yeah, the unfortunate part is whenever these waters decide to stop toying with their
Phoenix in chat saying, "Well, I figured I'd do a fizzle." I mean, I went in there after a grind, not before. Technically, I was on my way
Astos,
in there to grind, but I stopped at the tile first.
Astos with about 6,000 gold that we saw on Razor's. We got a couple folks here, Clementitas and Zeno, both in Marsh. Razor headed down there as well.
Mhm.
Now, a notable thing that you'll see pop up on Phoenix's side is that all three of the characters gained experience. So Dead's gain experience was turned on,
Hmm.
which is a consideration.
Hmm.
But also notice the black belt actually had a lower experience growth than the mages.
Yes.
That was one of the decreases,
Yes. But it
specifically
wasn't.
just black belt.
But it went down what, like 1.0 to 0.9
Uh, to 0.8.
to 0.8.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's a little slower, but not much. And that was me, I wasn't letting people pick the specific thing, but I was going to try to honor,
Hmm.
the intent of the community, which is, man, if you're going to grind a black belt, you better actually, commit to the
Hmm.
bit. I do also have to applaud the bravery of both Razor and Phoenix going only 3-man in a mystery flag set.
Hmm.
That is a bold choice,
Hmm.
especially since you don't know if Nun's gain XP is turned on.
Well, it's not just that. You don't know what the scaling you're walking into is. When the scaling gets up there, you really want that fourth character.
100%. Having the extra body to absorb hits, the
Hmm.
extra action economy. That was a temper sword, and we love tempers.
Hmm.
Phoenix leaving an opening in case recruits was on. I
Hmm.
see the play.
Hmm.
Okay.
I will also say that the flag set kind of forced you into it, but the other heads up play I think for mystery seeds is you take both a white mage and a black mage because you never know if spellcrafter or mixed spellbooks is on.
True. The other thing that I'm going to toss out here is as a mystery flag designer,
Hmm.
you never know what flags people aren't going to interact with, and
Hmm.
you just kind of have to hope.
Hmm.
Um, there were a few that came up that I don't think ever got hit, just based off of the finish times in the
Hmm.
submissions.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you just kind of hope.
Hmm.
Yeah, Phoenix pointing out harm 8 for the win. Yeah, if
Yep.
Spellcrafter had worked, that could have been pretty cool.
Oh, right, because you have different consumables on, you had to turn spellcrafter off.
Yep.
Was that a
And that's
case of
actually how that was an other,
Yep.
and I replaced it with save game on game mode.
Okay.
You see, in my consideration of things, Spellcrafter is a significant player bonus. And um, another thing I'm going to just mention here that there was a statistical anomaly coming out of random.org.
Hmm.
Um, somehow, in 36d6,
Hmm.
zero sixes
Really?
and only 2 1. And those 2 1s both rolled in the other.
I'm not one to question a mythological website, but I can't help but wonder if that randomization algorithm could use a tinker.
Well, and that's why I say it's more that it's a statistical anomaly,
Hmm.
right? It's I'm not going to claim that it's wrong,
Right.
but I am going to say that this doesn't fit my expectation.
Right.
And at the same time, like the way that it rolled out, all right, it's mid and minor changes for the most part,
Hmm.
and two significant negatives on the other category. Uh, that just kind of plays out.
Hmm.
Clementitas headed in the direction of Earth Cave.
Yep.
Checking the Hall of Giants first. Ghosts.
I mean, they're here and they're not bad, and I want to say you had the highest possible key item scaling on, because after only a few key items, experience went from nothing to, oh, that's like 5 levels at once.
Yeah, I want to say it started at 1.5 plus 100,
Hmm.
which is significantly lower than normal.
Hmm.
And I either had 10 or 20%
That
as the
felt like
progressive.
20.
I don't actually have the flag set pulled up in front of me.
Hmm. So 19-minute mark, we've got Zenobian and Clementidis, and Razor out on the Melman continent. Phoenix continuing to investigate the inner sea. Um, right now, I believe everybody is looking for the canoe.
Yes, which actually is really funny because northern docks were turned on, and I don't know how many people saw that.
I didn't.
Bahamut Cardia dock was also turned. Oh, Phoenix says he's about to. Okay, that makes sense as I see the sailing pattern.
Hmm.
Uh, Also, if I remember right, was this sea like exceptionally rude? Didn't the hags have like quake and mute?
Yes.
Uh, Rankylo's doing Rankylo thing.
Yeah. That is a pathway uh, to both Gaia and Lefane over there. Guess that was also on.
Hmm. It sure was. I had a few map edits that I turned on just as like part of the base flag set, and
Right.
I think a few extra ones that I turned on when it, I got like a
When they got
minor
othered.
other.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Phoenix. A lot of people don't see that when they go there.
Hmm.
They just gloss over the mountain range, so don't feel alone.
Hmm.
Harm 6 weapon is super nice, and that looks like a
That is a defense sword.
mmm. Yeah, that's very helpful for that white mage. A
Hmm.
cure 4 sword as well. I do love things that give me max HP.
Right now, I would settle for aquatic vehicles.
Earth Cave continues to be the annoying place that Earth Cave will always our runners head. Ambush arachnids with sleep touch. Fantastic.
Yes, Clementidis also in chat pointing out that during this dive, Zenobian and Clementidis pretty much holding hands.
And one of the things that was really rude in this particular set of blursing was that I think the black mage had like a luck penalty as their malice.
They sure did.
And it's just kind of crippling when you also don't have a thief.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, no thief,
yeah.
no red mage, no luck on black mage, no running.
Yep. There is the key for Clementitas. Phoenix, meanwhile, up into Sky official, starting with the memes and gets rewarded with a heal 3 stick. Actual good items? What is this?
You memes or no memes, you always check that box in a everything is loose scenario because something will be there.
True. And one thing that also is notable is, 3 people are running through Earth and 1 is running through Sky.
Mhm.
There are unrunnables turned on in this set.
Yes, I
Um,
found one unrunnable encounter.
yeah, it was like 8% of formation, so less
Oh,
than vanilla.
that was yeah, must have been all the rare encounters and in all the places nobody went.
Right. I think a lot of them probably landed in C.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't remember what the one was, but I found one unrunnable encounter. So Clementina's first 2 rod plate in our now 3-player dive of Earth Cave.
Big find on Clementidis' side, and I'm just gonna say that from the spoiler chat, did not catch the other half of what that sword was. It does
Nope.
cast Fade, but it's
Yep.
also the moth.
Yup. One of the key rules for all weapons cast spells is always look at the weapons that have no icon, because one of them's a Maza, and one of them's an Excal, and 2 of them are katanas, and one of them's a Vorpal.
Yep. And honestly, the easy way for me, I don't parse the classes very easily,
Hmm.
but I do parse the actual like numbers on them pretty
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
And my my general thing is if the hit is 50, it's the Masa. Like
Yeah.
that's the easy tell.
Hmm.
Phoenix is picking up a lot of levels through this
Hmm.
skydive though. That's a very important differentiator as you're going through.
Yeah. I I applauded the braveness of we're 4 minutes in, let's grind Topher, but this is the more sensible place to get levels.
The hard part though is that you're also going through and trying to uh, pick people up off the floor because they have no absorb, and dealing with the encounters being pretty fast and furious. So yeah, like there's a lot of considerations here. That life 2 stick is doing a lot of work. The harm 4 sword that was picked up earlier, or harm 4 axe, whatever it
Hmm.
was, also doing a lot of.
And then here's the final boss of Earth Cave, and it's not Lich.
Yeah, that's hashtag concern. Klim gets the Brack first try.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, this is a scary fight.
Hmm. Especially because um, that it's actual Tia stats. Because a lot of times when there's a different fiend there, you know that, oh, it's just, Lich in a Halloween costume. But when Tia's there, no, that's actually Tia. That's actually 1,000 health, impossible absorb at your level, 200 M def Tia.
Yeah. And you just kind of got to hope
Mm-hmm.
and use life 2 sticks until it gets better.
So Clementine is going for a ghost grind right now as Zenobian is attempting to make it through this Tia fight on pure damage. Um, the life 2 stick helping very nicely with this whole deadly melee problem we have going on.
Yeah, I think he ran out of Brax. Or got pretty. Yeah, he did. We're down to lit 3s, boys. Fade Sword comes in 86 damage for the kill. 2 people have lit orbs. Now, here's the other thing is until you've parsed out that the experience bonus is coming from key items, you do have to wonder if the flag creator is such a jerk as to turn on orb-based experience and then not let encourage you to get orbs by having the door wide open.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew that there were a bunch of people donating reduced numbers, so I thought, hey, what if those numbers was the number of orbs? Uh, and
Fun story, that was actually part of the base flag set because I'm a
really,
jerk.
ah,
Yep. Um, yeah, I mean that's slight spoilers. We'll get there.
so Razor One also on a Lich One fight,
The scariest Lich one gets it with the Bane.
and that is Zenobian first to Canoe.
Yeah, that E to dwarf to canoe. Pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm. I'm apparently waiting for a surprise. Oh, there's a surprise.
Yes, the required Warmac was one of the others. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, there were some other thoughts that go along with all of the fights that come up here, and we'll actually be seeing that soon.
Hmm.
Um,
No, we're going for it. Okay.
I mean, we're here, right? Which it's a bold strategy
Mm-hmm.
um, when you
Gonna,
don't know that save game when game over is turned on.
mm-hmm. Immediate melee deletion of the black belt. We're gonna try and bring it back up. Looking at options. Gonna continue with Lightning 3 because we're out of nukes. Incoming Ice 2 doesn't do much. Life 2 brings Black Pelt back up. Gonna hope for 3 into 56. Let's go. Cure 4 goes off. Quad X goes off. Bane, nothing. So the Life 2 swords working overtime today as Phoenix is in the unfortunate position of having 2 characters down. The mighty Fog Hammer gets field use. Warmech is unimpressed, immediately nukes. Let's try some more damage. Maybe health is down there. Maybe health is low. Thunder says no. Are we shifting to let's just swing for the fences? No, not quite. Still a little bit of safety. Incoming lightning 2. This is a pretty much free round. That is what we wanted. Are we going to try more insta kills? Sure, I guess. As we continue with harm 4. Rub goes nowhere. Harm 4 goes nowhere. Fog and Cure 4 go off. This is a lot of treading water, but I think there might yet be some some glimmer of hope that we are clinging to. Bane's not quite getting there, but Harm 4 is doing an okay enough amount of damage. Harm 4 will eventually get us there so long as we can keep and maintain safety. Lightning 2 is not doing much. Eventually, we're going to cycle back on that script. There will be a nuke probably in our future, maybe 2, depending on how long we're here. More fog going off. Stun doesn't work on the ribboned white mage. Continuing the chip damage. Doing a little bit of Cure 4. Cure 4 goes off, Harm 4 goes off, Fog goes off. Ink, free turn. You'll like to see those. The black belt, absent any effective offense, is going to continue testing the insta-kill waters. Harm 4 continues working. Ice 2 was not great for our health totals, but we are going to stop and Cure 4. Fog
I
and
mean,
Cure
kind of
4.
what else does the Black Mage do, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Cure 4 goes off, Harm 4 goes off.
So notable while this Vormac fight is continuing, those worms that
Yeah.
Xeno is fighting,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the hit point total was 92.
Something down under 100. And down goes Phoenix.
Oof. Now, this right here, this screen should say a lot of things to Phoenix, which is that black belt's health was still almost 400. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the save game on game over coming into play here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Meanwhile, look away, and Zenobian is already 26, 28? 26 and 28.
I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a gap because, yep. Razor seeing the hint that the key was on floor 3 of Earth.
Hmm.
Which, surprise, Razor already has the key. All right, Xeno has decided that the worms are no longer food. Oh, okay. Phoenix already had seen the save game on game. So, yep, that 100% makes sense about why we're going for it.
Mm-hmm.
I always love the moment in the seed that Xeno just showed off where you buy 41 houses because you can. Get the whole subdivision. It's,
Yeah.
it's cheaper that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just build out a whole cul-de-sac right outside TOF. Go all the way to 50.
I mean, you could try. Yeah, there was actually a level cap of 40 in this
Oh,
seed.
glad it didn't try for 42 then.
Yeah, that was part of them breaks on the decreases.
Calculated
Yeah.
gambles.
All right, Clementitas is heading in to Topher after having consumed many ghosts
Mm-hmm.
for the delicious, delicious experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tia 2 time. We're just going to rock the fade for all it's worth. And nukes. And probably, yes, many life. Ah, yes, the art continues.
Yeah. It's it's important that we recognize and decorate our esteemed runners on today's stream. Clementidis has more than earned his title in the field of service.
I would agree with that. Down goes Tia 2. Now, this is a two-path mid-topher.
Yes. I believe the top floors on left side and right side were both Kraken and Tia, so you knew that you weren't going to have to deal with the other behind either. And this floor is shorter, and in a lot of ways, I feel like Tia is generally less problematic than Kraken.
I would agree with that.
So Clementine is continuing the dive. Zenobian headed for Volcano. Razor doing some shopping. Phoenix full clearing Marsh.
So Phoenix skipped Marsh to go do Sky instead,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore didn't have the Rod, if I'm
Mm.
remembering the locations correct.
And essentially, the logical pathing of the seed was, no, it was key out of middle of Earth before Rodlock, to key locked Canoe was
Yep.
essentially the thing that everybody had to do.
And note on Clementidis' screen, hello to Burt Reynolds. Uh, this tells you the other mean thing and why I put it at 0 orbs
Mm-hmm.
is that Chaos is in a box. He's not actually in Topher. I mean, he could theoretically be in one of the Topher boxes, but he's
Could
not.
be, yeah.
And this is some lore. we we at one point had a bug where you could run away from chaos and then you kind of soft locked. So whoops. And that happened to Bert in a race. And it was streamed and it was very funny. Because what happens is you run away, but the Garland NPC that you talk to that turns into chaos just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have to imagine is because of NPC guillotine more than core function of the game. But I mean, it's you wouldn't know unless you had a bug that allowed you to run away from chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think part of it is fightable NPC. An NPC that turns into an encounter is programmed to disappear after. See example Astos.
oh, okay.
I think that might be where the hangup is.
The mighty lamp sword, a ribbon, another temper sword. This is one heck of a volcano arm. So, all right, the question in chat: who thinks to run from chaos? Well, you see, if the option changed from wait to run,
Mm-hmm.
you would kind of have to ask, why did it do that?
Yep. Yeah, and then you have to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, science, right?
Yeah. Like, competition is great, but science. Oh, Bridge Boss. Bridge Boss attacked and defeated at 4230 on Clementidis' side.
Oh, baby.
Flawless execution. Good kill.
So I do, once again, I want to shout out the fact that we had 10 people submitted runs with VODs, one person who ran it without submitting because didn't feel like doing it. I appreciate everybody who comes and enjoys the nonsense. I hope everybody enjoyed as much as I enjoyed subjecting you to it. Uh, and of course, for the kids.
Yes.
All right, we got the Agama floor of Volcano on our bottom two runner sides.
Hmm.
Klim looks to be headed towards Marshlock.
I don't hate it with the because I did the same thing. As soon as I got the knowledge that there was a hidden chaos out there, all boxes are now on the table. Check everything.
Absolutely. Though I think technically only one person has seen for sure on the restream that chaos is hiding in a box.
Hmm. I think there was some
It is the
discussion in the
right
spoiler
person.
channel that you could suss it out if you knew how it works, but we use hidden chaos so infrequently that no one knows how it works.
I mean, the main tell is Bert,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So that is, advantage Clementitis in knowing that at this point.
Hmm.
But the eternal question is, does that convert, right?
Right.
Like, do you actually turn that knowledge into something actionable?
Hmm.
Because nobody's seen it yet. And realistically, Phoenix had like the greatest chance of seeing chaos because of the whole dive through sky,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Mirage Sky is the most dense dungeon in the game, so greatest chance to spot there. Unfortunate that it was not.
All right, Xeno fighting Kraken at carry. Also, a fight you don't want to see here.
Mm-mm. Now, Fiend Shuffle was not kind today.
Though at this point, also note the black belt rolled one of the worst malices of promo unarmed,
Hmm.
right? So you actually had to promote to get your unarmed damage,
Hmm.
and we have not seen a single person promote because nobody's found the tail.
Hmm.
Um, but the masa is going to do our work here.
Hmm.
By the way, yet another thing that just rolled perfect for me putting my own damn name into the seed. Um, I could not have rolled a funnier set of blurses, to be honest, for what showed up, right?
Hmm.
All right, Razor One pulling up into Kraken at carry spot. It's a very spicy squid.
Makes it through. That is, I mean, that is an orblet, but not necessarily in a seed where that matters.
Right. I mean, we've sussed out at this point that it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And here's Phoenix at Tia 1. Clementitas also headed into ice.
And there,
And Xeno finds chaos.
Xeno finds chaos and stops and goes, wait a minute.
Reboot and lock in.
Let's begin with some evasion strats. Here goes Invis 2, here goes Wall, here goes Saber, and a fast on the black belt. Incoming melee, deletes bottom slot mage. Continuing Saber, doing some Wall strats. Life 2 to resurrect the black mage. Saber goes off, Wall goes off. Incoming melee does sizable damage to the black belt, but it is still upright.
That black belt is equipped with some stuff, but not
Mhm.
much.
Gonna go for a manually cast Cure 4 rather than out of a stick. Temper goes off, Saber goes off. We are powering this black belt into low Earth orbit. Going for a test punch. Maybe some more evasion strats. This does seem like a punchy chaos. Temper. And more temper. Test swing. 4 hits, 1167. That is significant. Invis 2 goes off. The health totals of the top 2 slots are not super. We are going with continuing Cure strats. Cure 4 goes off. Second swing. 6 hits, 1223. Chaos still there. Inferno. Does not a heck of a lot to this party. Final swing. No, not final swing. 7 hits, 597. Chaos still there. Gonna try a little bit more Cure 4 strats. 7 hits, 996, and down goes Chaos. That is Zenobian across the line.
GG Xeno. We also see Clementitas also here in the chaos fight. Not far behind at all, throwing nukes, throwing life twos. Again, Clem not noticing that the Fade Sword was the Masa and therefore doesn't have any punching power to speak of and is pretty reliant on the spell.
So
Phoenix facing Kraken 2.
Oof.
And there is Razor finding chaos.
So Clementinas going with some healing strats. Looks to be using mostly spells to try and break through currently. Ink comes out. Is not going to do much. Nuke Nuke Fade is pretty good offense if we can sustain it.
Other notable flag that I didn't mention before is the Black Mage got a decrease on max M. Not much of one. It's just down to 7 max,
Okay.
but it was there. The Red Mage actually, in the core flag set, only had 5, so, you know.
A lot of kind of just hanging on in Clementitas' fight. Razor 1 also pitched defensive battle, cycling life 2s and cure 4s, trying to weather the assault, getting in damage where we can.
Yeah, Klim not recognizing the sword was a big pain point here, and that's where the reliance on spells comes in. The 3-party composition, GG Clementitas with our second place finish. The 3-member composition for Razor 1 is showing its strain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not an easy thing to deal with when you're constantly just trying to pick people off the ground with a batch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they immediately get punched right back. Phoenix fighting Lich 2 means got past the Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Bert.
Healing anyway,
The
because
fight.
that's just what you do here.
There's a momentary pause that happens every time somebody engages with this.
Uh-huh.
And you just go, wait, what just happened? It's my sincere hope that was, I mean, part one, appreciated by everybody who got to experience it. But two, that it was a fun learning experience. And you can substitute several different F words there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Um,
English is very flexible.
yes. Um, so, you know, there was a lovely experience to be had there. My thought is that if you don't learn something while you're doing mystery flags, did you really play mystery flags?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Razor's still pushing on through this chaos and gets the terminated as I say that. GG's Razor won. Yeah, Phoenix, I know. But the thing is, you probably still enjoyed the whole experience, right? And this happens with like all of my mystery flags. Whenever people ask me for mystery flags, or I, you know, insert myself into challenge match mystery flags nonsense, um, I make something that's interesting, and it's not necessarily that it's like super difficult, but it makes you work for it. Phoenix eating some delicious worms. And honestly, this worm grind was just so easy. Again, I calculated these guys to 92 max hit points. I saw a 94 that they survived, and a 90 or a 90 that they survived, and a 94 that they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, um, yeah. But that means that even like the harm 4 item on the white mage is enough to deal with these guys part. Like most comfortable grind on the planet.
Yeah. Like they did do one thing that was yeah, they had glance, which like whatever. Just golf clap, but other than that it really was just a silly grind.
So I suppose depending on how much longer Phoenix no, he's leaving. I was about to say, depending on how long he spends here, maybe we have some time to talk a little bit about the rest of the marathon. So how about that schedule?
So how about that schedule? We do have our schedule now up and live over at what is it, ffrando.com/marathon. It might actually be here. There it is. Schedule is live at the link posted. We have 4 full days of marathon this year. We're starting on Thursday. We have a Thursday overnight going through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, December 4th through 7th. It is going to be a wild time. And big thank you to everyone who submitted runs. It's always a nervous thing to run an event and wonder if anybody's going to sign up for it. And I just want to extend my eternal appreciation for everyone willing to donate their time and their skill and their talking and their entertainment value and their tracking, everything that makes the marathon go. So just thank you to everybody.
I love the passion that comes with the marathon every
Mhm.
time. And I mean, up to 4 days this time is huge.
Mhm.
Uh, Fizzle said, like, "What if nobody signs up?" The the real kicker was everybody waited to the last minute to sign up,
Uh-huh.
and, it's I don't doubt that we will have people signing up, right? Because this is what, our 8th marathon now?
Yes.
Man, that's crazy to think,
It
right?
really is.
And, we've built a lot of relationships across multiple communities, and I think that the event has just grown wonderfully in the time that we've all been doing.
Mhm.
So I'm stoked yet again for it. It's happening just before finals for me,
Mhm.
um, which is a little scary, like, how much am I going to get distracted from stats by the marathon?
Mhm.
Um, the answer is a lot.
Mhm.
All right, Phoenix rightfully checking these chests in Elfland Castle because, man, we know. All right, DM Stewart, I will potentially take that offer up because let me tell you, there there is a need. um, yeah. All right, Phoenix sailing around, deciding where to go, deciding on Crescent Lake. We've got a little canoe, and we're going to use this canoe, even if it's slower than sailing,
Mhm.
because we got it now.
But we are going to try ice first, and we encountered the Burt, and so only a matter of time before we encounter our special guest star of Ice Cave. I still have to
Isn't
look
it
at.
nice when you have the warp trick and then you like mismenu it?
Isn't it nice when you have a 32 black belt and promo unarmed, and you've never seen the tail?
Right. Yeah. So the fun little bit here with the tail that I didn't mention is um, that you could have gotten that tail as soon as you had the canal, but you were going to have some real struggles dealing with buffed Bahamut that you
Mm-hmm.
were going to have to fight in the process. So the tail was the only incentivized item. It was incentivized to Cardia. Bahamut's Horde was turned on. So you'd have to fight one of the side dragons to get access to the Horde to find the tail, to then fight the buffed Bahamut
No.
with promo on it.
I'll take the Masa, thanks.
Right. Well, and, again, that was all before I knew that this was going to roll with no thieves and no fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So Phoenix making use of the cloaks, which I think is actually he might be the only one who did. The cloak acting as ruse
Mm-hmm.
for each use of it. So very strong consumable. Definitely an underrated set of new consumables is the one
Mm-hmm.
that I put out there because it doesn't feel as punchy as the one that includes the nuclear item, and it
Right.
doesn't feel as like versatile as the one that has the phoenixes. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't use. Well, I used Wizard to figure out what it was. I don't think I used Cloak. I did use Quick. I used a lot of Quick.
yeah, so wizard is confuse,
Mm-hmm.
so like the wizard stick, and GG's Phoenix swinging away through that chaos. All right. Well, we are officially through our top four. Yeah, Clem, I definitely get that. All right. Well, I hope everybody had fun with this async restream watch party
Mm-hmm.
because I had a lot of fun interacting with folks as they got into the spoiler room and everybody being able to see the ridiculousness that I put together.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be posting the unmasked flags outside of the spoiler room in the near future, as well as the leaderboard, so everybody can see the full suite of submitted times.
Mm-hmm.
Fizzle, your thoughts?
Um. Yay, mystery flags. I wish we had mystery events more often, even if it's just one-off silly things. Uh. And also, can't wait to see y'all in December for the marathon.
Heck yes, both of those. Um, this seems like a good time just to go over with Maggie.
Mhm.
Hey, how
Ooh,
we feel about this? What did we learn? You know,
sure. So that was so much fun to watch. It made me want to try it. Like this is all so new to me, but no, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, thank you for having me be a part of it.
well, if you want to give it a shot, I can tell you right now, January is when we start our new player program. We call it the Duck Boot Camp, and
Okay.
it's 2 streams a week where we go over new concepts and teach you from the ground up. So if
Dude,
you
I
wanted
would
to try
love
out the Rando,
to. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
Cool.
so that's on our calendar for January as the start. It's 6 weeks for the boot camp, and then we have a week off, and then we do the Duckling Derby, which is a race just for our new crop of people, right? So
Okay.
if you wanted to get competitive with it, that's great. If you wanted to just casually play the game, also great. We have lots of options on that front.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm super interested.
But yeah, I was thinking about, as far as the assignment part of this. So we're pursuing our MBA. We're in a leadership class, and the assignment was go do something positive for the community, whatever community that happens to be. And so, this was a combination to me of some marketing, some project management, wrangling people into positions. Hashtag thank you, Fizzle. And everybody else, because let me tell you, this marathon does not happen off of the back of any one person. It is truly a team effort, and the team always comes together on this. I cannot speak highly enough about our community when it comes to things like this. And, we had Jay Scheidel putting together the submission form and all of that so that we'd be ready for submissions of the asyncs. Fizzle doing the restream, Danny getting things ready on the channel, and there's always more back end. Thank you guys for agreeing to letting me put on something that slightly steals just the tiniest little bit of thunder from the marathon. But I hope that we get to just kick it off a little early and support the Burn Children's Fund, for a little bit longer for the kids.
Or the kids.
All right. Well, that's it for me. Any other final thoughts before we close it on out?
I think. Oh no. The one other thing I want to highlight while I'm here, while everyone's watching, signups for the FFR Cross Z1R tournament will be closing at the end of this coming week. So if you are a team of 2 and you want to jump in on that, we still have just a little bit of time to get started. It is grand dumb fun. I encourage anybody who wants to join. We talked about the marathon. We mentioned the duck program. I think that's everything.
I will say, as somebody who got to test out the the Zelda 1 map for FFR, that was a lot of fun. A random night, I'm sitting inches away from a TV as my screen, and I'm tired out of my mind. I have no idea what I'm doing. And yeah, it was great. So if you have time to practice and actually get acclimated to it, you'll have a lot more fun, I'm sure. But definitely get in on anything Archipelago related if you have the interest and availability. It's a good time.
And with that, go ahead, take it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. I want to again throw out my thanks to the admin team, Fizzle, for doing the restream. Maggie, thank you for coming along for this wonderful ride of the whole setup on this.
Oh, I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that it was a valuable learning experience as you continue on your MBA journey with me. And with that, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you around.